Hello everyone, short tutorial about sprites, what they are. So a sprite's pretty much just a costume for an object. Now we'll get to objects very shortly, but sprite's pretty much just a costume, so what the player looks like, what the enemy will look like, if it's a bush, a cloud, whatever. So you go to your little Pac-Man symbol, create a sprite. Now for your name, naming convention for sprites is SPR underscore, then you'd say like player or enemy or something. But that's our naming convention for sprites, SPR underscore. Now hit your edit sprite button to create a new one, or if you have a picture you want to load up, then just hit your load sprite and find where you saved it and all that jazz. Now edit sprite, go to your little create new sprite button here. 32 by 32 pixels in width and height. You can do 64 by 64, you can do 128 by 128, whatever, 10 by 10. I'll just stick with 32 by 32. Double click into it. Now you have buttons up here. You can zoom in, zoom out, a little equal sign to get back to where it originally was, or use your mouse wheel. Now this setup's very much like Microsoft Paint. You got your pen tool, you got your box, you can change the way you draw boxes, you have a paint bucket tool, you have your text, so there you go. If it was zoomed out, that's what it looks like. You have, if I had like this, you can select, drag across, you can cut and paste, Control X to cut, Control V to paste it, Control A, select all, delete button, delete. You have your circles, there you go. Eraser, very important, so if you have that, erase. Now, one thing to note, opacity. So at full opacity, so 255, draws like that. If we go say half or a quarter of it, something like that, we'd try and draw it again, you can see through it. That's all opacity does. So make sure that's set to max unless you're going to fiddle around with how see-through something is. Now I'll just create a very short little still Pac-Man or something. If you want to draw a circle that scales in both width and height, so it doesn't like do this sort of thing, just hold down shift while you're creating your circle. So I'll start in top left corner, create it all the way down like this, create a small eye for it, something like that. Use an eraser to get rid of that guy, fill it in, there we go. Just do something like this or something. Fill it in with some white. There you go, you have a little smiley face. There you are. Paint bucket tool, why not? Let's make an actual Pac-Man. Done. So, that's that all fairly sorted now. However, if you do want to make your canvas size a bit bigger, transform, resize canvas, and say you want like it to be twice as big. So you do 200%. Boom. However, say you don't want all this white space. You've created your sprite, use too big of a canvas. Doesn't matter. Hit transform, trim, margin in pixels is just 0, hit enter. There you go. Hit the tick to save and exit. Now one last thing, your origin, your X and Y values. You want to center it. So you see that this crosshair goes on the very center of your sprite. That's just, if you need to rotate your sprite, whether it be anti-clockwise or clockwise, it's going to rotate around the center instead of, say, the top left point. Anyway, so hit OK to confirm that. And that's really sprites. Next up, objects.